Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to dive into this incredible Nobel Prize-winning story about the hidden peacekeepers inside every one of us. We're going to uncover the fascinating journey of how scientists finally figured out what the body's own brakes are.
All right, so let me start with a question for you. Really think about this for a second. Every single day, you've got this ridiculously powerful army inside you, your immune system, that's fighting off all sorts of nasty stuff. But what's the off switch, right? What stops that powerful army from turning around and attacking you?
Well, figuring out the answer to that exact question is what won these three scientists the 2025 Nobel Prize in Medicine: Shimon Sakaguchi, Mary Brunko, and Fred Ramsdell. They discovered one of the body's most critical safety systems, and this discovery is completely changing the game for how we think about our body's own defenses.
So, to really get a grip on who these peacekeepers are, we first have to understand the army they're in charge of. So let's start there. Our story begins inside the body, in this constant battle between friend and foe.
Okay, so the superstars of this army, they're your T cells. Just picture them like these super elite soldiers, constantly on patrol, checking IDs, and on the hunt for anything that doesn't belong. A virus, bacteria, you name it. Their one job is to seek and destroy. And this really shows you the two sides of the coin. On the left, you see the good attack, when it's all working perfectly, and our soldiers take out a virus. But on the right, that's when it all goes terribly wrong. That's a bad attack. The soldiers get confused and start attacking a perfectly healthy cell. And that right there, that's the heart of what an autoimmune disease like type 1 diabetes actually is.
So that brings us right back to the big mystery. For the longest time, scientists knew T cells went through a kind of basic training, but it wasn't perfect. They were like, there's got to be something else, right? Some kind of backup safety system out in the field to keep these soldiers in line. But what was it?
And that is where our story takes this huge, fascinating turn. This is all about finding that missing piece of the puzzle, and it all comes down to one absolutely brilliant experiment.
Okay, so check this out. This is the incredibly elegant experiment Shimon Sakaguchi did. It's so simple, but wow, was it powerful. He took a perfectly normal, healthy mouse, then he very carefully removed just one specific type of T cell. And the result was, honestly, it was shocking. The mouse's immune system just went haywire, attacking its own body and causing all sorts of diseases.
And that revealed everything. The cells he took out, they weren't the soldiers. They were the peacekeepers. He had discovered what we now call regulatory T cells, or TREGs for short. Think of them as the official brakes for your immune system. Their whole job is just to show up and say, whoa, hey, stand down. That's one of us, don't attack.
But here's the cool part. At the very same time, a totally different piece of this story was unfolding somewhere else, with a different mystery, and this part is all about finding the master switch that actually makes these peacekeepers.
So let me introduce you to the scurfy mice. A different group of scientists, including Mary Brunko and Fred Ramsdell, were looking at these particular mice that were born with this really aggressive autoimmune condition. From birth, their immune systems were just completely out of control. The big question was simple: why?
And you know what? They found it. It wasn't some kind of infection. It all came down to a single, broken gene, a gene called FOXP3. Turns out, FOXP3 is the master command. If that gene is broken, your body just can't make working TREGs. The peacekeepers never get their orders. The brakes are just gone.
And this is where it gets really, really important, because this wasn't just a mouse story. Scientists realized that children who were born with a broken FOXP3 gene get this awful, deadly disease called IPEX. This was the smoking gun. It proved that these Tregs, these peacekeepers, are absolutely non-negotiable for human health. And it's not just rare diseases. We now know that when Tregs aren't working right, it's linked to all sorts of common diseases, like rheumatoid arthritis.
Okay, but the story gets even crazier, because it turns out these brakes, they're a total double-edged sword. They can be the thing that saves us, but they can also be the thing that gets in our way.
Just look at this. It lays out the two sides perfectly. With autoimmunity, the problem is weak brakes. The peacekeepers aren't strong enough, so the army attacks. The goal there? Boost the brakes. But with cancer, it's the complete opposite problem. The brakes are too strong. See, tumors are really clever. They actually call in the Tregs to build a protective shield around themselves. So for cancer, the goal is to release the brakes and let the immune system do its job.
So you can see how this one discovery has just blown the doors wide open for a whole new frontier in medicine. We're now entering an age where we can think about fine-tuning the immune system with a level of precision we could only dream of before.
And believe me, this isn't some far-off science fiction. As we speak, there are over 100 clinical trials happening around the world, all based on this science. Scientists are trying to boost Tregs to stop autoimmune diseases and organ rejection, and at the same time, they're working on how to turn them down inside tumors to fight cancer. It's amazing.
And really, that's the beautiful, simple idea at the heart of this Nobel Prize. A healthy immune system isn't just about having a powerful attack. It's just as much about having smart control. It's about having the wisdom to know when not to fight. So, what this amazing work taught us is that our own bodies hold the key to keeping the peace. It really shows you that so much of a healthy life is just this delicate balancing act. And it kind of leaves you wondering, right? What's the next incredible secret our bodies are just waiting to teach us?